Howdy folks, I know most people have already probably looked into this already, but I figured, hey, I've got it, and I figure instead of doing a huge deep dive on it this weekend, I'll just do a unboxing set kind of deal, talking about Robert Eggers? Shit, I hope so. I thought it was Roger for a second there. I'm like, no, it's Robert Eggers. I got the old Blu-ray, this wonderful thing. At least the artwork's nice. I like the artwork on this. But this release has, like, nothing except for the film. So, yeah. It is a BD50, though, which is really interesting. Given it doesn't stipulate any special features whatsoever. But, that's what I'm comparing this to. It also says Dolby Audio, which, even though it only has DTS HD... Where does the Dolby come into it? God, some of this shit can be really confusing. I thought this was meant to be with Dolby Atmos. Maybe I'm thinking of a completely different film. But anyway, this is The Witch. The Witch. I know, I'm like one of those people that like calling the Witch. This is from Second Sight, recently came in. Obviously came in a lot earlier for a lot of other people because they live in the UK. And mine was delayed by like a week when it got here, which is really annoying. But it has nice artwork on the front and on the back. Nothing in terms of artwork on the top or bottom, but of course you do have the Witch written there with the Second Sight Universal logos, the New England folktale. So it's pretty good. It's a hard box. I'll take everything out for now. Focus on the box. Good solid box. Basically what you expect from most Second Sight when it comes to a limited edition pack, unless of course you went insane and bought the Drive or Dawn of the Dead sets, which I also bought. So yeah, but this is pretty solid. Basically the same as you might also get from Arrow Video if you were to get a hard case stack set from them, whether it be a steelbook or even just regular sets like, say, Enter the Void. Inside it, you get a handful of things. You get a collection of art cards, which I'll be going into. There is obviously your J card as well, which does come right off. No, I don't remember there being any stickers on it. I think it just kind of slid off. But yeah, so you've got your region code there, obviously barcode and all. Stats-wise, the Blu-ray is Region B, but of course the 4K is all regions. It has DTS Master Audio and Dolby Vision and HDR10. Don't think there's much else in terms of specs to reference. It does actually stipulate that it is at 23.98 FPS for both the Blu-ray and the 4K, so there's that. It's 92 minutes long, optional English subtitles for the hearing impaired. That's always a nice feature. I don't personally use it, but on a film like this, it probably wouldn't be too... It would probably be a bit handy, given that I don't speak in regular English in this film. But yeah, so it obviously has a fuck ton of special features, as well as a new 4K scan presented in Dolby Vision. That was... How do they say it? Observed by the director, you know? He gave it the tick of approval, because apparently the... US original release 4K scan wasn't great, and I don't think he gave that one the ticket of approval. They just made it because they could make a lot more money out of it, probably because of the popularity of... Actually, I don't know when that original 4K came out. I think it came out in like 2019, 2020 period. Probably 2020? I don't know. I feel like usually they wouldn't do a 4K upgrade unless it was like in correlation or something like, oh, Eggers' new film is a huge smash, or in celebration of Eggers' new film, let's re-release his old film but with a new, restoration or whatever. But it's like The Lighthouse, I don't remember being that big unless you went to see it in cinemas. Like promotion-wise, I didn't see it that big, but I go to a lot of like local cinemas who did show it, so that's all the promotion I got for it, which was good enough for me. Got a lot of word of mouth as well. But even like The Northman only came out this year, so there's that. But maybe 2019, 2020 period, because that's when Anya Taylor-Joy was really blowing up. So they're like, hey, we can cash in on this because she did this one film that's like low budget enough that we can re-release it, and it did well sales-wise in terms of people actually watching it at cinemas plus physical media sales. So yeah, but I'll dive into the packaging in a minute. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. I don't have that, obviously, the old UHD disc. I had debated it for a while. I even debated getting a steelbook for this film. I'm very glad I held off, because this was not a cheap set to buy. Never is. And I buy it directly from the distributor from Second Sight, who bubble wrap the whole thing and then pad the crap out of it. So you get a big ass box, but it comes with everything mint condition. So I'm like, beautiful, love it. They're great guys. Guys and gals, or people in general. So Dolby 4K UHD presented in Dolby Vision. I don't have Dolby Vision on my TV. Gonna be honest, I have HDR10. It looked fucking great. I only just chucked it on before, watched about 10-15 minutes of it, and there's not too much color in the film. If, as you probably know from watching it, the few instances of color is usually depicted in fire, sky, or grass, and I mean fire is in both fire and the color red, which is what the witch wears when you first see her. But most everything else is a kind of monotoned browny grey colors, but it really works in 4K. Of course, this is still an upscaled presentation, but it still looks goddamn good. Like, it looks probably a bit better just naturally than my standard Blu-ray, so that's always nice, and it's a natural lighting film as well, so it's basically a film that could be in black and white. It just looks that goddamn good. So, natural cinematography, the 4K just works with it, the HDR grading looks good. Obviously, if I had Dolby Vision, it probably would give that extra kick in the ass. But from what I've already seen, it still looks fantastic, and the audio, despite being, I'm pretty sure, the exact same track that I had previously on my Blu-ray, already sounded great to begin with, and I could hear it really echoing throughout the room quite nicely. So, I mean echoing in the point of I could just hear it really nicely from one end to the other. It wasn't actually bouncing off the walls. Well, not in a disturbing amount. God, that I'm realizing how confusing I'm sounding as I speak, but you get what I mean, right? Hopefully. Anyway, let's break down what else it comes with. You get archive audio commentary with director Robert Eggers, new audio commentary by film writer and broadcaster Anna, oh god, that's her name, Bogatskaya? Sure. I'm pretty sure, it actually, one of the websites I read about this said that she was the film writer, but she's a film writer. She's not the film writer. This is written and directed by Eggers. So I'm like, why would you write that? The way they made it sound was like, oh, they got an interview with the writer of the movie, but they already had one of those. Eggers wrote the fucking movie. But yeah, she's a film writer and broadcaster. A Puritan Nightmare, a new interview with Robert Eggers. Embracing Darkness, a new interview with actor Anya Taylor-Joy. Love Thy Father, a new interview with Ralph Ineson. I'm bad at pronouncing names. A Pious Wife, a new interview with actor Kate Dickie. Caleb's Lament, a new interview with actor Harvey Scrimshaw. A Primitive Folktale, which features interviews with Robert Eggers and cast. BFI London Film Festival Q&A with Robert Eggers, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Ineson, and producer Jay Van Hoy. And Brothers, a short film by Robert Eggers. Yeah, all of those can be found on the 4K disc, which is really nice, so you don't even need to use the Blu-ray, which is even better. So I wouldn't be surprised that if at some stage if you don't want to buy this limited edition set and the standard edition 4K does come out, you don't have to worry about buying the Blu-ray unless you're really, really particular about getting both. Unless, of course, when they release it, it comes with both. I don't think that they usually do. It's usually, here's the standard Blu-ray, or here's the standard 4K. There's no in between. The only way to get them both is in the limited edition set, which I'm okay with because that's how I did it anyway. What else do we have? So limited edition contents, rigid slipcase with new artwork by Peter Diamond, 150-page hardback book with new essays by Emerson Baker, Daniel Bird, Anton Byton, Charles Bromesco, Lillian Crawford, Shelag? Okay. Rowan Legg, and Anya Stanley, plus stills, costumes, and production design gallery, and 6 collector's art cards. It's a fucking good amount of shit. Let's dive into it. So, first up, you get your art cards, which are blank on the back. You get your picture of Miss Anya Taylor-Joy. That is the only human image, I believe, that is in this. Then the rest of them are basically like your standard artwork pieces that you would have seen for the film. all the evil creatures, from the crow to the rabbit to the lamb. This is the main artwork shown on the front of the box, which is nice. I think it's a bit brighter on here if I compare the pair. You know, you look at the two. Yeah, maybe it's just the texture of this that makes it look darker in a way, but you can still see everything. I think it actually blends in a bit more. Because you focus on her, but then you realize, like, in the background, shit, there's a fucking rabbit and a goat, and, you know, you can see the eyes, obviously. But in this one, it looks more like a stencil drawing, like they really stand out a lot more. I don't really know if the video is giving you a good impression of that, to be honest with you. But at least that's the impression I get from it. The next image is what is on the back of the box, which is obviously the house, which is nice. It's a nice image. And then you go back to Anya, so... Not much, but it's nice to have the different things, especially because a lot of the steelbook artwork I've seen is... Actually, it depends. Not much of the steelbook artwork has actually been the animals. There's, like, the image of the young boy in the tree, in the woods, but, like, the woods, the lighting makes it look like a cross, which is actually not a bad design. And then there is, obviously, the main artwork of the witch in the woods, which is great, which I'm pretty sure that's actually meant to be Anya as a witch. So... There's that. For the sake of it, the next up is the Blu-ray 4K pack. This is the Digipack slot where you've got a crow and a hare. It's England, I'm assuming. No, actually it's America, isn't it? Is it still a hare in England? I don't know. Is that a different kind of thing to a rabbit? Doesn't matter. Then you got your two different discs. Obviously you got the goat. I cannot remember the fucking name of the goat. I apologize. But yeah, so that's the Blu-ray disc and the 4K disc over here. It's simple as that. 4K disc has it has a video reel showing what's what when you go to play the film, but then you do have your bar at the base giving you the play film, scene selection, setup for audio, which is basically just, do you want it to have subtitles or not? That's about it. And then your special features, which apparently don't have any subtitles in the special features, so, yeah. And last but not least, I keep thinking it's like Michael or something. I don't know. My god, what is it? The fuck is it called? Black Phillip. See, I knew it had... If I had the pop vinyl, Anyway, you got Black Phillip on the front cover of the book, which I think is really nice. Nothing on the back except for the logo. They probably could have done something there, but I guess the logo's fine. This book is really fucking nice. It's a good hardcover. It's all black. There's your rabbit. You got a whole good selection of stuff in there to read through. And they all kind of are posed in different ways. Like, it looks like it's written on old paper. You get high quality images from the film. Different stages, you get different kind of texture and looks to the actual work. You get some more images. I won't go into that, but there is one I did flick for it earlier the other day when I got it. Jump in here and you get like dioramas and stuff and drawings about the actual the houses. You get the costume design section, which is really interesting. Yeah, this is stuff that, like, you probably wouldn't think about. See, that's what I meant by the Red of the Witch. But yeah, it's a nicely laid out book. Good images inside it as well. And, yeah. And that's, like, the whole jam, to be honest. Obviously, this is up to you as to if you actually want to buy it. I'd suggest it at least for the book, because as with most things like this, you can always just get the 4K disc in a few months' time. Basically, I'd say by October, unless these limited edition sets run out, I'd assume that by October, the pre-orders for the standard edition should come out, usually. Unless they've already got the standard edition on pre-order. Sometimes they do that early. They're like, oh, hey, we're going to put the standard edition on pre-order in case you want to buy that instead. I don't know when the standard edition comes out. I should probably, for reference sake, look it up. Well, the limited edition set is still currently in stock. Oh, they actually do not have a currently, as of filming, they do not have a standard edition coming out for the film. But I imagine that they would, because like they're only now releasing a standard edition for The Guest, and The Guest, I'm pretty sure, came out last October. Yeah, and that doesn't come out till September, so it's probably, yeah, you'd probably have to wait like another year for it to come out in standard edition, which, in all fairness, I'm totally behind for how they do that, because for the most part I usually like to buy the limited edition sets, not just because it's limited edition, but also because they're usually really nicely designed, and I like in the books and everything. Like, I really like The Guest, which I have all the way down there on my shelf. And it has a really beautifully designed packaging to it, to the point that when I ordered it, because I ordered it directly from Second Sight, which is one of the reasons why I like to do it so much, because they pack it so goddamn well compared to like Zavvi or Amazon. But when I ordered it from them, I actually got some bonus posters, because there are posters in the movie, and they reprinted them as like little art cards, and it was like really cool. So as a collector who really likes that film and admires the work that went into it, I got that extra bit out of it. In this case, there's nothing much in terms of that for The Witch, but at the same time, I don't particularly mind, but I just love the fact that I could just order it from them, and I think it was maybe $10 more for me personally to order it directly from them, because it was still like $100 on Zavvi or something, and I'm like, I prefer to order it directly from the retailer, so the distributor, so when it comes out, it comes directly to me. There's no in between, and I have no fear about damage of the package, because I know that the box will be so bloody well put together, so well padded, that it won't get damaged. So, yeah. Anyway, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, check out The Witch if you haven't seen it, and check out the Second Sight version if you want to buy it. Of course, it's still not cheap, but that's what money's made for, spending. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Adios.